Dear students, welcome to this last session of this unit number 4 of your syllabus. This video lesson will be covering the session number 9, 10 and 11 that deals with workplace safety and security. So to begin with, we have session number 9, maintain workplace safety. Every organization must follow a standard set of safety rules and procedures. These rules must be stated and displayed clearly at important areas. All the employees must be given a demonstration and training to follow safety rules. Basic safety rules to follow at workplace are fire safety, falls and slips, electrical safety and use of first aid. Timely repairs should be carried out by a competent person, organization at workplace, home to avoid or minimize any hazards. Basic fire safety rules in the organization are, let us see what are the rules. Fire escape plans must be installed at proper levels. Conduct regular fire safety drills. These drills are also carried out in the Vidyalayas. Smoke alarms must be placed at proper intervals. Keep workplace a no smoking zone. Maintenance of safety equipment must be taken care of regularly. So these are the rules of basic fire safety. You must have heard a lot of news related to fire occurring in hospitals or restaurants, and after the inquiry it comes out that the basic fire safety rules were not being followed in those organizations. So you must follow them whenever you get time. Next is falls and slip safety rules. Keep the moving area clean and clutter free. The area where the persons are supposed to move, that area should be clean and it should be clutter free. There should be no obstacle. Workplace must be proper ventilated and it should receive light. You should wear non-slippery footwear. Floor must be clean and dry. Oil spills or dust must be immediately cleaned. Next we have electrical safety rules. Though use of electric equipment has helped in all our routine tasks, whether at home or office, but if precautions and safety measures are not taken, they might be a cause of threat to our lives. We must take appropriate measures to ensure safety from electrical devices at home as well as at our workplace. Let us see some measures for electrical safety. Electrical equipment used should be approved by a recognized organization. You should not buy local equipments. Workers should be trained to handle the electric equipment safety, and the safe equipment handling should be given to the workers. Damaged and hazardous electrical equipment should be immediately replaced. All old and workout and frayed switches and wires should be changed. Heat emanating equipment should be kept away from electrical equipments. Take care that the outlets, circuits should not be overloaded, and switch off and unplug the electrical appliances before cleaning or relocating them. So these are the electrical safety rules that you should follow in your home and at your workplace. Next is use of first aid. Learning first aid is the social and civic responsibility of every human being. If provided effectively and on time, then it may save life. First aid is the immediate assistance provided to the injured to save life and minimize health loss till the proper medical aid or facility is provided. Every organization must have basic first aid kit which is available in the medical room in the Vidyalaya. Kit must have all necessary items. Make sure to check for the expiry of medical related items. Some rules of first aid are: assure the injured to remain calm and not to panic. Keep them warm if they are under shock. Do not move the victim in case of back or neck injury. So these are the basic first aid rules. A worker may face occupational hazards at workplace. An occupational hazard is the illness one may acquire due to his occupation. Okay, if you are acquiring any illness due to your work, then it is called occupational hazards. Like people working in a chemical factory may get affected due to the presence of certain chemicals. Some type of occupational hazards are physical hazards, chemical hazards, biological hazards, behavioral hazards, radiological hazards, and ergonomic hazards. Okay, physical hazard you know, chemical you know, biological is there. Behavioral, if there is some change due to your work hours, then in your behavior, then it is called behavioral hazard. Radiological you know, due to some radioactivity, and ergonomic due to your sitting position. Okay, the way you sit or you work, if there are some hazards, then it is called ergonomic hazards. Now let us see some case studies of hazardous situations. The first case study, hazards due to chemicals. From past 2 years, Ramdeen worked in a chemical factory where some type of acids are being manufactured. He is supposed to carry a sample of chemical in a special flask with a tight cap. He went to take the sample from the dispenser and did not fix the cap properly. While carrying the chemical bag, he slipped, and because the cap was not fixed and the chemical slipped over his neck, lower half of his face and one hand. The worker suffered from severe burns due to chemical burns. So this is a case study where the hazards occur due to chemicals. Now case study 2, hazard due to electric shock. A 43-year-old gardener was electrocuted and lost control over his limbs while watering the plants in a park where he worked. After investigating, it was found that insulation of the electric wire from night lamp was cracked and full 220-watt current was live on the lamp pole. The park caretaker had just watered the plants and the electric current was live in water while he watered the plants. Okay. This meant the wire was not inspected regularly, otherwise the damaged insulated wire should have been replaced. Case study 3, hazard due to fire. A storekeeper was in a habit of throwing the plastic waste and packing waste in the back door of his store. The housekeeping staff was in a habit of smoking cigarette during their break time. One week the pile of plastic and packaging garbage was not cleaned. One of the housekeeping staff just threw the discarded cigarette in the garbage heap of plastic and packing material. As the day was hot and sunny, the garbage caught fire. By the time the fire was noticed, fire flames infused the whole back area, causing heavy damage to the store and back door area. The fire could have been prevented if the storekeeper had taken appropriate garbage disposal measures restricting smoking in the premises. Okay. So after this session, we have some activity. Observe the safety measures adopted in your school and locality. You should try it in your school and your locality also. And the assessment, these are the questions for the assessment part. Okay, so they are very important session. So after seeing these assessment questions, let us move to session number 10, which is preventing accidents and emergencies. Accident is an unplanned event that may happen all of a sudden and may lead to unwanted or unprecedented results or outcomes. It can be defined as an unfortunate incident that occurs unintentionally causing hazardous result or injury or unwanted results. So let us see what are the types of accident. Accident at workplace. It can be slip and fall accident or fire. Industrial diseases or illness, road traffic accident, clinical accident, sports related accident. Workplace accident may include injuries that are caused to the workers due to falls, slips and trips. Slip and fall accident may occur at any working environment and the injuries may vary from minor act to major severe accident. Okay, either you can slip or you can fall from a height at your workplace. Some injuries suffered might include fracture, sprain, knee or elbow injury, wrist or head injuries. Okay, and how to handle accidents. Accidents must be handled carefully. The accident should be handled compassionately without assigning blame on others. Okay, every organization must follow SOP for accident handling. Safety measures must be placed to prevent workplace accident. Immediately call the medical team for any injury. You must stay alert and pay attention to and follow the emergency drills. Here the important term is SOP, Standard Operating Procedures. Next is emergency. Any unexpected situation that needs immediate action or attention is called emergency. An emergency situation might pose a sudden risk to life, property, health and others. And it needs intervention to prevent deteriorating results or hazards. An emergency situation is one that threatens the employee, customers or the public. It disrupts or shuts down the operations. अचानक आपके सारे काम बंद हो जाएं तो emergency situation कहलाती है. Or it can cause physical or environmental damage. An emergency must be handled immediately to prevent further loss. तो बाकी सब कुछ छोड़ के आपने उस इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन को पहले हैंडल करना चाहिए जिससे कि जो नुकसान बहुत बड़ा हो सकता है उसको कम किया जा सके. One must be alert to notice any kind of emergency around you. आपको हमेशा अलर्ट रहना चाहिए कि आपके घर के आसपास, आप कहीं बाजार में जा रहे हैं या अपने स्कूल में हैं, कोई इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन आपको लग रही है तो आपको उस पर तुरंत ध्यान देना चाहिए. There are various types of emergencies that may occur at home, school or workplace. Hence, it becomes essential requirement to have an emergency plan to minimize the loss and recover from emergency. Types of emergency. Let us see what are the types. Chemical spills, extreme heat waves, droughts, pandemics, terrorist attack, fire, floods, thunderstorms, leakage of some hazardous gas or chemical. So these are the possible emergency situations that may occur in a home or school or the workplace. Generally, the situation of emergency occurs as a result of some disaster. Disaster may be either natural or human activity. Okay, some types of emergencies that require evacuation are fire, explosion, floods, earthquake, hurricane, tornado, toxic material release, civil disturbance and workplace violence. So in these types of situations, there is a extreme requirement of evacuation of the people around the area. Okay. So after this session, there are some activities. Identify some precautions that may be taken at various places to avoid accidents, and some assessment questions for you. These questions are very much important for your examination as they are completely theoretical related. Okay. Now let us move to the last session, session number 11. Protect health and safety at work. An organization can face some health hazards that could put the lives of employees in danger. A hazard is anything that is source of any potential harm, damage or any kind of potential loss of health or life. Hazards can be of different types depending on the industry and the environment in which the employee work. Physical, chemical, biological or mechanical. Source of hazards. Checklist for workstation. The workstation should provide sufficient space for the user to alter position comfortably. Provide adequate lighting. Have windows fitted with adjustable coverings to alter the sunlight levels. Be spacious enough when a workstation is shared by more than one person. The display screen should display well-defined characters of adequate size and spacing. It should have a stable image, have easily adjustable brightness and contrast, tilt and swivel easily to suit the user, be free from glare and reflection, use a separate base for the screen or an adjustable table. Okay. The keyboard should be able to tilt easily and should be able to separate from the screen to allow the user to adopt a comfortable working position. Have space in front to provide support for the hands or arms of the user. Have a matte surface so that it doesn't slip. Have clearly legible symbols on the keys. All the symbols on the keyboard must be visible. The work surface should provide adequate space for the user. Have a low reflective surface. Be of an adequate size to allow the screen, keyboard and other peripherals to be flexibly arranged. It should have a stable and adjustable document holder which should be at the same level as the screen and at the same viewing distance. So these are some options that should be followed in a workplace. Workplace evacuation. In case of emergency, there should be a provision for evacuation. It is the process of emptying a place in case of emergency or disaster. जैसे आपको लगा कि सब चीज़ आसपास आपके हिल रही हैं तो आपको अचानक से लगा कि भूकंप आया तो आप क्या करते हैं, अचानक से फटाफट अपना सामान सब छोड़ छाड़ के घर से बाहर चले जाते हैं खुले में, और आपके आस पड़ोस के लोग भी सब खुले में आ जाते हैं. सो दिस इज इवैक्यूएशन. Every company must ensure following points for evacuation. First point is you should have an evacuation policy. Every organization must have an evacuation policy. All the team leaders are responsible for informing about the policy to their employees. Proper attention must be paid when the team leader is informing you about these details. Negligence at this time may cost lives. Organization must have a designated assembly point for emergencies. Ensure that every employee or worker must know where it is. Okay. A buddy system for individuals with special needs or disability must be designated. Okay. So the persons having some disability should be assisted by some buddies. Okay. Some help. The person that could help them. This system ensures that differently abled are assisted and guided out of the premises because they cannot walk on their own. Okay. If you are a buddy to someone, ensure that your buddy is safe at the assembly point with you. तो अगर आपको किसी का बडी नियुक्त किया गया है, जिसको हम भाई कहते हैं, तो आप क्या करेंगे, उसको इंश्योर करना है आपने कि वो ऐसे कभी इवैक्यूएशन के टाइम पे आप उसको सेफली बाहर लेके आएँ. Floor plans with evacuation routes in work areas should be there. Ensure that you understand these so you can use it in the time of need. कि आपको पता होना चाहिए कि हर फ्लोर के लिए एक इवैक्यूएशन प्लान होना चाहिए कि अगर इमरजेंसी होती है तो कहाँ से बाहर निकला जा सके. Assembly areas where you are required to assemble after evacuation must be properly taken care of. Periodic evacuation drills should be conducted. Ensure that you pay attention during these drills. You need to save your life and you can be helpful in saving someone other lives. Okay. So these were some evacuation points that you should note. Healthy living. A healthy body has a healthy mind. It is a very popular saying. Healthy lifestyle leads to a healthy being. A healthy living has a lasting impact on an individual, which ultimately yields a healthy environment at home and as well as at workplace. A happy and healthy worker will always perform to the best of his ability. A healthy lifestyle helps to keep and improve people's health and well-being. A healthy lifestyle includes healthy eating habits, physical activity, stress management, healthy mind, sound sleep, and goal setting. A healthy lifestyle needs practice, commitment, and sincere effects. So stay healthy, stay happy. So at the end of this session and this video lesson, we have the activity to discuss and enlist the measures to avoid hazards in various situations at workplace and in your school. And assessment, these are the questions for assessment. These are some fill in the blanks question and some checklist type questions and some short answer type questions for you. So dear students, with this we come to the end of this video lesson and to the end of the syllabus as prescribed by CBSE for the subject of information technology. The first part, that is part A, was dealing with employability skills, and the part B, that is having 4 units, was specially related to your information technology portion. Okay, so all these 4 units are very much important as they will be of total 40 marks in your examination. In your examination, there will be questions of multiple choice type, fill in the blanks type, and of short answer type. So you must remember all the expansions of the abbreviations, the important points that you have studied, and the definitions. Okay, so all the best for your final examination, and I hope that we were able to solve and we were able to learn all the points that have been prescribed by the CBSE, and you are well aware about all the points that were there in the course. Okay, so with this we conclude our discussion on the curriculum of information technology for class 10th, and I hope that you will score good marks in your final examination. Thank you very much.